Good to see you, awesome learners! Welcome to Hazard Education in the Philippines. For today, I will be your instructor. I am your teacher, Hani. And for today, we will discuss about the best detective. The problem of the crime. As a society develops, a lot of criminals has been so sophisticated. This means that the method of catching criminals need to change as well. Now, think about of the causes and the solution of a crime. Criminal investigations is an applied science where it should be based on facts, which are used to identify, locate, and prove of a guilt of an accused criminal. Investigators may find some of the evidence or trace behind the crime scene because a lot of criminals or some criminals leave the traces behind the crime. Now, some of the evidence is hard to find or difficult to find in a crime scene. Finding and collecting an evidence without damaging it is a crucial work for an investigators. Science investigation is a method of using technology or instruments to catch or to find criminal based on decisive clues and based on a science knowledge. Now, in using science in criminal cases, it is called forensic science, which it can be or it should be conducted in scientifically and legally to protect human rights. Finding and analyzing a fingerprint is considered as a beginning of an investigation. Why? Because it is the most important part of a science investigations. Now, we have 8 common types of fingerprints patterns, and here they are. First one is plan arc. Next one is tented arc. The next one is ulvar loop, radial loop, plain whorl, central pocket loop, double loop whorl, and accidental whorl. Some of the criminals are unstable and cannot control their desire. This means that there is a high probability that they will commit a crime. And did you know that research shows that most criminals are product of environment rather than a nature? Now, we have 2 types of criminal. The first one is a psychopath. The second one is sociopath. When we say psychopath, they don't have any conscience, which means they don't feel any guilt on their own bad behavior. When we say sociopath, they may feel a little bit of guilt in doing something bad, but it doesn't mean that it will stop their doing. A little bit of trivia, did you know that the size of blood can help investigators to find or gather an information? Okay, so when a blood looks low or small, it means that the victim moves quickly into the crime scene. When a blood looks a big circle or let's say a high, this means that the victim moves slowly in a crime scene. When a country or a society puts a great emphasis on economic success but people can't get rich, then there will be a lot of criminals in that society or in a country. A society that only focuses on the money rather than its people will be not safe for everyone. There are so many ways to steal a money. Cybercrime includes identity theft or stealing an information in your valid IDs. Criminal investigations look at 3 factors on the criminal's behavior. First one is psychological, second one is biological, and the third one is social factors. A criminal, like other human beings, has a mind to reason out. That's why investigators study the psychology behind the crime or the criminal, which means that it will help them to see the truth or let's say predict the behavior of an criminal. If the investigators know how the criminal thinks, then police can protect a people or let's say protect people in a much better way. There is a lot of way to know if the victim, the criminal, or the witness tells the truth. First one is what we call the lie detector. It is an instrument to determine whether a person is telling the truth by testing for physiological chances or let's say physiological changes. Second one is hypnosis. It is used to enhance or to recollect a memory loss from a witness that forgets what happened on the event. Lastly, we have chromatography. It is used to identify substances found in a crime scene. It separates mixtures in anything that we intake in our body. In crime evolution, so basically or ideally, we want to live in a crime-free kind of world. Cybercrime like hacking, identity theft can be so much clever because of the advances of technology. This means that Korea needs to enhance their online culture, laws, and this is a time to increase international cooperation. Some of the evidences can be visible, which what we call microscopic evidences. First one is shoe prints. We can know the approximate height, size, or where the criminal goes within the crime or after the crime. The second one is tire tracks. It is a comparison kind of investigations. If a fire tracks or fire traces is same with the fire traces in a crime scene, then it can be used as an evidence. Lastly, we have criminal face. These help the investigators to know the identity of the suspect. Even there is no one presented in a place, there is an eye that see everything that happening in the places. That is what we call CCTV cameras. With the help of CCTV cameras, crime can be prevented because a lot of criminals know that when there is a CCTV camera, then their identity will be revealed. In digital forensic, it collects, processes, and analyzes the computer-related evidence to support an investigations. Now, in investigations technique, we all know that most people in today's generation use devices or technology. Even data that has been erased or deleted to hide crimes can often be recovered to help the investigations. Amazing, right? In a murder scene, investigators ask the medical examiner how the victim died. Though an autopsy, they can see if the cause of death was suicide or murder. They will see if the crime story or the criminal story is true or a lie. In the cases of international crimes or natural disasters, we have to identify the criminals and victims in solving international crimes. Genetic database to find identity and nationality of victims are needed too. Interpol is an international police organization that helps other law enforcement organizations to track criminals who operate across a national borders. With this information, we have criminal profiling. Criminal profiling is a method of identifying the most likely suspect based on evidence and information at the crime scene along with specific characteristic of the other criminals. We all know that a crime can happen anytime and anywhere in a various situation. So police officers analyze and investigate evidences at crime scenes, whereas researchers analyze evidence in a laboratories. So kids, the lesson for today is that for the future to be brighter, we need to ensure that people's bodies and minds grow healthy to build a safe and warm kind of society and country. And that's all for today. Thank you for listening and have a great day, kids. Bye-bye!